Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome. This is Dana Hagstrom coming to you live from my studio here in Mexico, coming live in our Facebook group, Online Business Builders, over on our Facebook group, and also on our YouTube channel, Ask David and Dana. So, wherever you are watching, whether you're live or on the replay, know that I'm just sending you all sorts of love. Excited to be with you today. We're going to be talking about goals. We're going to be talking about goals, goal setting, hitting your goals, and why that's important and how you can get better at it. And so we're going to dive in here pretty quick. And I'm thinking about this particular subject because we taught about it last night at a webinar. You know, if you're inside the Lighthouse Networking Association, we do a teaching webinar the first Monday of every month. And last night we talked about goal setting and mindset and all of those favorite things that I love to focus on, because if we don't have our mindset right, if we don't have actionable goals that we're working toward, why have a business in the first place? So they also, setting goals don't have to just be business related. And that's part of what, we will help you with. If you work with us one-on-one in coaching, we don't just look at your business. We look at your whole life. So as we walk through this teaching today, this short little, jolt about goals, keep that in mind, that look at the bigger picture. It's not just your business. You have a life too. And you need to be setting goals and working towards something bigger in your life as well. Don't just live in the moment. Don't just go through the motions. Dream and dream big. So you all know that I love acronyms. And so you've probably all heard about the SMART goals, and SMART, S-M-A-R-T, being an acronym. Well, what about smarter goals? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So if you've got a piece of paper and you want to take some notes here, that's great. Otherwise, you can watch on the replay. That's fine too. But I'm going to walk through what each of these little pieces are, and it will help you in setting goals that you will actually achieve. Because too many times we set goals that aren't aren't smart, and we wonder why we're not getting anywhere. So let's get started. So the S in SMART-E-R is specific. And when you're setting a goal for yourself, for your business, you need to make it specific. And the difference between saying I want to exercise more as being a goal, well, that's not very specific. Make it more specific. Narrow your focus, narrow your objective. I want to exercise every day. Well, you see how that makes it more specific. Now, there are more criteria for making your goals even smarter, and we will hit on those first. But the first one is S for specific. The M is measurable. You want to make sure that your goals are measurable, that you can measure an outcome. What evidence will prove progress? And so if you're still talking about exercising more, I'm going to exercise every day until I lose 5 pounds. All right. Do you see how that measurable, adding that little piece to it, helps you know when you've actually reached your goal? And I'm sorry for my microphone. I feel like I'm eating it here. So let me adjust it a little bit again. Now the A, I've seen all sorts of different the A can be actionable. That's what we like to use, and that's what we use in our teaching, is actionable. You want to have something that will take action. Your goal is setting out an action, but I've also seen it to be achievable or attainable, because you don't want to have a goal that is so hard that you'll never achieve it no matter what. So I kind of like those attainable and achievable goals, if that is how you use your A. But I also want you to be thinking actionable, something that you are actually going to accomplish, right? So actionable is the A. Now R, we've got two R's in smarter. And so I'm going to throw out one that you might not have heard before. And this R is risky. Risky. Now, why would I be telling you to make a risky goal? Does that sound smart? No, probably not. But what I mean by that is think through what happens if you don't accomplish this goal. That becomes your risk. You do not want to, if you don't exercise more, what's going to happen? You're not going to fit into your clothes anymore. You're not going to feel good about yourself. And so your goal that you're setting needs to have a bit of risk to it. Now, the T in smarter is time bound or time geared. And what I mean by that is put an end date to it, to give yourself something to work toward. Like, I want to exercise daily. And well, that's not a bad example, but I will exercise every day. Well, that's actually time. That time gears it. But a lot of times what I'm talking about here is to put by the end of the year, I want to blah, 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 where you're setting a goal for an end date. So that's what that means. Okay, now the E, because remember, this is not just a SMART goal, this is a smarter goal. The E is exciting. I want you to pick a goal, or when you're planning your goals, something that's exciting, not boring, not just run of the mill, but make it exciting. What something you could look forward to doing. So if it's exercise and you're not a fan of exercising, how can you make that fun? Maybe you put something with it that makes it fun, something that you can look forward to. Well, after I exercise, I can have a smoothie. You know, I'm throwing out some crazy things here. You know what works for you. What will make your goal exciting? Kind of get that, anticipation going. And the last R of smarter is probably one you've seen in the SMART goals, but I move it to the end just to make sure your goal is relevant. R is for relevant. Make sure that it aligns with your values and you're not asking yourself or dreaming about something that is against, something that you believe in. So that's what I mean when I think of SMART or smarter goals, is to think about, how can you set it up? How can you phrase it? How can you, put it out there in a way that you'll actually get it done? And the more specific you are, the more you can measure your results, the more you can take action, the more risk involved. When you set a time goal, when you want to accomplish it by, have it be exciting so that you look forward to it. And of course, be relevant. Because if it doesn't align with your values, you're not going to want to accomplish it. So why are we talking about goals? That's usually something that we do at the beginning of the year, right? Or maybe even at the end of the year looking forward. But I want to tell you, you can set goals anytime. And every time is fine. And hey, Brian, thanks for chopping on over there on the YouTube channel. So I have a little bit of a challenge for you if you're up for that. Did you know there's about 7 weeks left in the year? 7 weeks. And then we can say bye-bye to 2021. Now, 2021 has been a kind of a crazy year, but maybe not as crazy as 2020 was. But think, then there's 3 weeks to Thanksgiving if you're US based, and 6 weeks till Christmas. Think of that. Now, you've got a short little bit of time. What goal could you set right now? This would be a time, this is totally time bound, so you're set on that T, that you could accomplish between now and the end of 2021. This can be a business goal, this can be a relationship goal, this can be some sort of a personal goal. But think about that. You can share in the comments if you want. That'll kind of keep you accountable for it. I'll be happy to help you there. But what is that for you? Think about something that's been nagging that you thought, oh, I'll do that tomorrow, or I'll think about that next week. What are some things that you could be doing? Is it, if it's in your business, maybe you want to launch something new or create a new offer, or maybe you're working on a new email sequence to improving an email sequence you already have in place. Or maybe you want to do a live video and you've never done a live video before and it's frightening you to death. Maybe that's a goal you need to set for yourself. What is it for you? Maybe it's to eat healthier through the holidays. Set a goal and then go back through and make it fit the smarter thing, the smarter, outline that I just gave you, with all of those little pieces to make sure that your goal is as solid and as positive as possible. And if for any reason, this is exciting to you, but it's a little bit scary, and you want some help in thinking through and in brainstorming what might be a good goal for you, then I would invite you to schedule a time session with me. And we can use that 30 minutes, that complimentary session, to crank out a goal. And if you think that maybe you have some bigger needs, that's fine too. We can talk about it then. Sometimes you just need to brainstorm with someone else that maybe is on the same journey as you, maybe on a different place along the journey, but on that same journey, have the same, goals in mind. And that would be something I would love to help. I love to be with someone when that light bulb goes off, when they can say, oh my gosh, I never thought of it that way. God has put people in my life to do that for me, to help me through times where I'm not sure what I'm doing and where I should be going next. And he always brings the right people into my life at the right time. And I always pray each day that I could be that person for someone else. So schedule that time session with me. I will put a link in the comments. We can, and figure out what is going on in your life, your business, and how you can get yourself back on track. And if you have any comments or do want to put your goals in the comments, totally fine, because I also love to be that accountability buddy that can kind of tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, how's it going with that thing? That goal, how's it going? So until next time, everybody, I hope you're having an amazing, amazing week. And I look forward to helping you crush those year-end goals that you're thinking about, that you're dreaming about right now. Until next time, be safe, be well, and of course, be blessed.